Hello, everyone. My name is JD Calderon, and this is Indie Comics Explained. Yet again, I'm brought on another group of fantastic, incredible, independent comic book creators. And look, I'm just gonna start bringing them in. Let's, this guy.
Bring him in. Bring him in. I'm right here. What's up?
Let's just bring them all in.
Bring him in.
There you go.
Can I tell you something right now? I finally know what this show is called after being on this show 100 times. What's funny is I'm on other shows and I tell people like, oh, I'm on shows, but I never say like I'm on Indie Comics Explained. I'm always saying I'm on JD Calderon's show. And they're like, oh, what's that show called? I'm like, I don't know, because whenever he opens up the show, he just races through it like he's about to lose the game. And and so I finally heard it this time, even though you were racing like you were about to lose the game. So yeah.
That's that quick New Yorker sprint.
Yeah.
Right. Let's move on. So what's up, gentlemen?
What we doing, man? You guys ready for this year to end?
Yes.
I've been ready.
That is a Jet fan statement right there. Holy God. You got one more week to deal with that, my friend.
Oh man, dude, no. It's over.
No, one more week. Next week is the final week of the season. Next week,
bro.
It's over, but they're still playing. So
you're gonna get fired, man.
How does that work if they always lose? How is it there in the last game?
Well, no, they're scheduled. The scheduled games.
Yeah, the scheduled games.
Oh, okay, gotcha. It's not the playoffs or anything.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Playoffs.
Yeah,
so,
right.
Gentlemen, it's weird because all I got here is a bunch of vets. Right. So, I just wanted to really talk about bullshit that's happened throughout the year, how you guys are doing, right? I have a few questions. I can ask those.
Yeah.
So I'll ask this one, right? Because there's no real question for the show. It's just, it's the end of the year. Let's talk comics, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. You guys got anything you want to talk about, bring it up. But I do have one question. If you had an opportunity to talk to somebody in comics in general, it doesn't matter. And I mean, like, sit down and have a 2 or 3 hour just conversation, right? Who would it be? Like, who would you want to just sit down and just talk to? Not try to convince them to back you, not try to fucking, coerce them into supporting you. None of that bullshit. Just have a honest to God conversation with someone in comic books. Doesn't matter.
Living or dead?
Living.
That would be a one-way conversation.
The last time I tried, the fucking Ouija board exploded. So, All right.
Who were you trying to talk to on that Ouija board?
Yeah.
All right. I was trying to Jack Kirby. No. but no. So I don't. Let's start with Marvin. Marvin, who would you want to talk to?
So like over the years, there was one person I always wanted to talk to, and I got to talk to him at Comics Bro, Jeff Jones.
Oh, cool.
So it wasn't 2 hours; it was like 40 minutes. But I got to bounce things off of him, and got some good responses. And I thought that it was a good conversation. Like he's always willing, it seems like, to sit there and just jabber some more. So it's a good thing because I do the same thing. So it was good banter with Jeff. So that crossed that off my list. The one person I wanted to get a conversation with, I was able to do 2 years ago.
Okay. All right, cool.
Nice.
Damion, who would you go with, bro?
Yeah.
Top of my head, Jim Lee right now. Like, what are you doing, dude? Like, what's going on? Like, either hits or either explodes in a blinding flash of despair, or it blows up. Like, and everyone's excited and happy. Like, what are you doing over there? I also I knew him and his history with Alan Moore, but like I kind of did a little deep dive earlier in the year on it, and I'm just like, wow, you fucked that man over. Like you just did him dirt. And I'd kind of like to, You know, I know that's old news, but I don't know. I'd still like to know. But like with him in the position he's in now, you know, him being in control of, you know, I don't know, what percentage do they sell?
You think he's in control, but that's a corporate structure, my friend. He is in control of very, very little at that company.
True, but I do believe some of the ideas are coming from him because
but not
the substructure.
Situation. That's
No.
Buck stops with Jim Lee thing.
No. And even with the Warner Brothers sale and all that, you know, like, where are you at with keeping this ship afloat? Like, what are you even doing? Like, what's going on? Yeah, I just want to pick his brain.
Right. To me, I think there has to be a lot of confusion, a lot of who's going to get the reins of everything, because it kind of feels like that James Gunn is gunning for other things in that world, and that Jim Lee may be on his way to the outside.
That's interesting. Now, okay. Damion, I got a question for you though. Like, so, because I'm fairly well versed in the stuff that Jim and Alan and all that stuff. So, I mean, what have you heard or read?
Just that he wasn't really letting Alan Moore know what he was doing with the sale. Initially with the sale to DC and all that. Right. From Wildstorm to DC. Just that he wasn't seeing how much they used those IP in the last decade. You know, tread them back out again, made them part of the universe, watch it fail horribly, all that, or not, depending on your point of view. To have all that happen after he kind of did him dirty in that way of everybody knew how Alan Moore felt about DC. You didn't need to be anybody to know that. And then he sells his whole company to them. Is you got to go with him.
Yeah, but did he didn't have to? You know what I mean, bro?
He didn't. But he didn't want. He wanted his to what I read. What that Alan Moore wanted was he wanted his characters to be. He wanted to close the stories. He wanted to finish the story, and so he stayed as long as he could, and then he ended up leaving. And he's also kind of an asshole at the same time. So you got to take a little bit of what he says with a grain of salt.
Now, who's an asshole, Jim or Alan?
I mean, in some capacity, everybody, but mostly Alan Moore. If you had to look at the two of them and look at their past and see who's probably the bigger asshole, I'd say Alan Moore. But not that he's a bad guy. I'm not judging him as a person. I'm saying, he's more willing to tell you to, screw off than he is to be here's my opinion.
Damion, hold on for a second. We have a troll in the chat.
No. How did Sandeep know I was a virgin all the way from where he is, overseas, bro? Come on.
So let's see. And then he's asking, would end up fucking your moms. I mean, probably your mother. That's who they probably end up fucking. And then 5 virgins again. Ask your mother about it. She'll tell you. Anyway, so let's get rid of Sandeep.
There you go.
Is he taking a moment from his internet scams to talk to us tonight?
Probably. Who knows who that guy is? And nobody cares.
Yeah.
But that's how we deal with trolls. We talk to them. Not so politely.
So I mean, I would kind of be interested in someone actually putting on paper what happened in those last couple of years of Wildstorm. What kind of led to him bailing pretty much and going to DC with his universe that they've kind of haven't really done really much with over the years.
Well, it's funny. I mean, they've tried over and over again. It's not like they haven't tried. You know what I mean? And I guess the biggest success they had was The Authority out of Warren Ellis.
Yeah.
Right. Which I think, what is it? They used one of the characters in the last Superman movie, right? And he said that's one of the films he wanted to make.
Well, Authorities, that was canceled.
Oh, it was canceled? Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but you got Grifter into Batman. That worked. But then when you spun into the Wildcats book, you kind of separate them into their own little corner pocket and don't have them really interacting with the DC proper.
Yeah, but I think that's just a matter of like some of the writers taking interest in those characters and pulling them in. You know, because that's what I think. I mean,
yeah. Like I said, that I just like what all led up to him just saying that here, I'm done with this.
Well, I got this leads to my question for the night. So let's hold off on the Jim Lee stuff for a moment. All right, because I want to dive a little bit deeper into some of this stuff. No, and it came because of what you guys are bringing up. So that's awesome. That's awesome. I love this. But I want to knock out Calderon's question.
oh, okay.
Tom is next. You
Tom's next. There you go.
So Tom, who would you want to have a conversation?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to talk to anybody that works for corporate. I don't see how that makes any sense at all, unless they happen to be somebody that also does something of their own on the side. Because that's what we all do. We're all independent. We're all creating things external of corporate structure and existing IP that we can all lean on and all that. So for me, it's an obvious choice. It's always been my choice, and it's Todd McFarlane. Because here's a guy who rejected everything, and along with the other guys too. But he legitimately rejected everything because he didn't go back for Heroes Reborn and all that kind of stuff. He was like, no, this is what we're doing. This is how we're going to do it. And then he took it to levels that no one expected. With his toy company, for own toys, and the licenses, and he changed the toy market. I mean, just. If you look at the entirety, not just the comic book world of Todd, but just everything that he did is remarkable, incredible. And Todd is even one of those guys that kind of figured out that Spawn as his sort of universe and world was suffering without his name attached, and he dove headlong back into it. He said, okay, fuck it. We're going back in here. We're resetting everything. We're my name's on this stuff again. I'm writing books. I'm inking stuff for these guys. I'm taking and of course he wasn't there previously because he was running a fucking $1 billion company with his toys and shit. But he realized like Spawn was his legacy. Spawn was what he needed to put his focus back on, and he came back into it. And now there's news that the Jamie Foxx script is done, and who knows what's going to come of all that. But Todd is that guy that has always sort of just spoken from where he's coming from. He doesn't really sugarcoat anything. Remind you of anybody else, So I think that I think he and I would kind of land on a similar plane as far as visually. What is the industry?
Either that or it would just be this.
It could be that. It could be that. But either way, it would be fantastic. I mean, either way, it would be great.
Yeah.
I had a chance to take Brian Polito to lunch one time back before I started doing crowdfunding and stuff. And I just kind of reached out to him. I was like, let me take you to lunch and just pick your brain. And he was like, yeah, let's go. So we spent an hour, couple hours.
Oh, nice.
Took me back to the early Coffin Comics. He's in new places now, but went back to that. And he was showing me around, like, this is how we do this and this and this. And so he was really cool to kind of give me that time and just impart, some of where he was. We didn't go deep into like what happened with Chaos, and that wasn't really the point. Point was just more like, okay, you're resetting yourself. You've found a new way. You found this crowdfunding to work. Like, let's talk about that and how you're doing that stuff. And so that was really cool. I did get to have one of those sort of creator experiences in that regard.
Very cool. Yeah. I like that. I along Tom's lines, I'd talk to the Captain Kirk himself, Mr. Robert Kirkman. Because unlike Todd, he's not an artist, right? And I think that's where the majority of us are in that writer sphere, right? How did you get to that point without having the name attached to Spider-Man images or
right? But you had that chance though.
When
he was on Digital Webbing and Pencil Jack, like everybody was on those two forums, so we all had a chance to talk to those guys.
I didn't.
You didn't?
No.
Really?
Yeah, 100%.
You weren't on those? weren't on the platforms on
I
digital?
was, but I was not in the chats. I was looking for freelancers.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's where you found them in the chats.
Yeah, Mark Brooks was there. Ryan Stegman was there. Really, all the guys.
Yeah, but no, I get it, but you know,
Yeah.
he was still on the way up. You know,
Yeah, he was a nobody like we are.
Yeah, so that's the thing, brother. He's on Mount Olympus right now.
Yeah.
Right. So what was the one thing Polito said to you in that conversation that you really took to heart, if anything? Okay. So yeah, no, I'd go with Robert Kirkman, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like us, right? He started with Battle Pope, right?
Yep.
he
started with Tech Jacket. I think Tech Jacket was first.
Really?
I think
Battle Pope was first.
Battle Pope
Was it?
Yeah.
He was testing Battle Pope on the forums. So it was all he talked about was on the forums. Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, back in the old Funkatron days.
Yeah. That was his first baby.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. All right. Well, Tom, I don't know if do you want to answer Daphne's question?
I don't think there was really like a specific thing that I took away, but when he invited me to go back and see sort of how they did it in the office, that's the part that kind of stuck with me. Like seeing like, okay, look, we have this dedicated space because that's all they were doing at that point was crowdfunding. It's like, we have this space for fulfillment. We have these guys that come in and do it. This is where we lay books out for signing. This is where we have, the archive, whatever. This is where we have sort of they were setting up like their early sort of museum thing where you could like look back on all of Polito's career, because they've got like, one of everything for their stuff. So it was sort of, I guess it was sort of like the infrastructure that I saw a creator had built like an infrastructure that was something that I hadn't seen from anybody that I knew that was making comics through all those years. And this would have happened about 9 or 10 years ago is when this would have happened. So most of the folks that I knew that were creating comics they were just basically just like me. They're sitting at home, they're making comics, they put their comics out and they do their thing. But I've never seen anybody like build a full infrastructure around what they were doing around this character, around this, and really at the time it was just Lady Death. They hadn't really expanded into anything yet. So it was just like, this is Lady Death. Lady Death is the foundation of everything that we do. And everything that exists in here is because of that. And we use that as the foundation to take the steps forward. So it was really cool to see that built out infrastructure, and that's always been in the back of my head now for so many years. And every time I've kind of taken that step to be like, this is the year that we do that, then it was like, well, now COVID's here, and now Diamond's dying, and now it's like, fuck, so yeah, it's tricky, because you don't want to be in a situation where you're like, hey, I'm paying these 5 people to do shit, and then like shit goes off a cliff. Like, oh my god. So yeah, we're still not quite there yet, but it's still in the back of my head.
If somebody have something right by their mic, I hear it's like, sounds like underwater or something.
Is it me?
Let's see if that helps, if that's me. I don't think it's me, but it could be.
Yep. Damion,
It's you.
the winner.
It's the gain on my mic. It's a little rough.
Weakest link.
But before I answer my own question, I just wanted to show this off because I found this in my collection. I was just rummaging. I have a lot of trades. I mean, like I got like walls and walls just filled with them. So I was just looking through it and I found this. I didn't even realize I had this. I was just like, oh, look at this.
Look at that.
You got the first print.
Yeah. And I don't know when. I'm pretty sure I ordered it when it came out. Pretty sure.
When it came out, like the first time?
Yeah.
Like back 10 years ago?
Of course. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Like I said, I mean, there's when it comes on to indie stuff, I'm always willing to give a shot to just about anything, So
Give you a shot, Tom. He gave you a shout. He stumbled across you. It was an impulse buy.
Shut up, Brian.
Well, it's like I was going through dollar boxes and found Dreamweavers, and I grabbed that.
You
Like,
did.
Give me that.
You know, that's how it works.
Like not modern, but like old school. Like vintage Dreamweavers. Yeah.
Yeah, the black and white 92 version. Jesus. But if I had an opportunity to talk to anybody who's currently alive, there's two guys. One of them is Mike Richardson, publisher, longtime publisher, creator of Dark Horse. And the other one is Paul Levitz, the former EIC of DC. And I think those are two people that I wouldn't mind like sitting down and just really talking to them, picking their brains, seeing how, with Mike Richardson, it's a matter of just like, like how did he navigate through the whole thing? You know what I mean? Like when a lot of other companies imploded, he was still there, man, like a rock, like he didn't have, I don't think, they've had a lot of success. What's funny is if you hear them talk about it, they'll tell you that like 90% of their sales or 80% of their sales is coming from manga, right? And then they have the rest of it, right? But it's just, interesting how did he get the whole thing with Legends started, dealing with, like the stuff with Frank Miller and all that stuff, and just, just picking his brain about that stuff. And then also the countless amount of creators he's had to deal with over the years. Same thing with Paul Levitz. I would love to understand, like, the one thing my understanding of Paul Levitz is that he took care of his creators, right? When they had TV shows out and they were using their characters, he made sure those guys got paid. And he said a lot of the creators, even though they were supposed to get paid, but he got them paid anyway. And like, what stands, like, what's the big difference between today and what happened back then? Obviously, when he was in charge, they had massive sales, but what's the difference between now and then, right? What are the things that we see differently now? So, stuff like that. I wouldn't mind talking to those guys about. Jay, you're up, bro.
All right, so everybody was bringing up Jim Lee, right? And I love that. He got the gears running. We know that the sale of Warner Brothers to Netflix does not include the print division, right? Is it going to be up in limbo? Is it going to be licensed to somebody else? Is it going to be sold to somebody else? Don't know. But my question is to you guys: do you think Jim Lee goes for the ride with DC Comics, or goes back to Image, or just hangs up his boots?
So I think that the interesting question is that where does it go? So is it part of Discovery then?
I don't know.
So how do they? So how are they going to make movies? And so are they going to license the characters?
Well,
the comics has nothing to do with making movies. They own the characters. If they're what Jay's saying is that there's no interest, theoretically, in them actually publishing comics.
Right.
It's just not what they want to do.
Their print division and their TV division are not part of the sale, right? And the TV division includes TBS, TNT, those channels.
Oh yeah. So that's all. That would all go Discovery. Discovery Global. I think it's what it's
right.
But
so what does Jim Lee do, right? Does he go back to his boys? Does he get another seat at the table?
Jim Lee doesn't go back to. Well, I can't say he won't go back to Image, but primarily he won't go back to Image because DC owns all his shit.
Yeah,
it's not like he can just like scoop up Wildcats and go back to Image. If he could, yes, I could see that happening, and it would be probably monumental. But because all of that stuff is owned by DC and whoever else up the chain, if he were to go back to Image, he would be starting at zero.
But don't you think with the way that DC's handled all the Wildcats and Wildstorm stuff up to now, that he has no reason to stay? Like why stay for that IP, even though he created it, even though it's his baby? It's not like they've been
because
really
it's a paycheck. As long as he's there,
he's
still getting paid.
He'll get
regardless of his IP, he gets a paycheck. Regardless if he's just like, okay, I'm out and I go to Image, he has to actually start to create something new which he can do. I mean, I'm saying
yeah.
he can't create something
100%.
new, but he literally comes out of DC, leaves everything behind, and goes, all right, I'm at ground zero at Image. What am I making? What's it going to be? It can't relate to anything that I've already got. That's not a, now granted, dude also has a bank account. He's fine. Right. So, he can coast if he needs to coast, but not all creators are built to just be like, time to create, let's go. We see creators sit and rest on their laurels for decades in some cases, and all they can do is reimagine what they've already imagined. So, that I think is really the trick is, Jim is in a position where he gets paid, he's in the circles, he knows the people, he has some connection into whatever extra media there is. But now once everything gets sold, who knows? It can all be splintered. It can all be shut down. They could kick James Gunn out if they wanted to. I mean, it could be a gigantic mess. So, but for me, I don't think Jim has a reason to jump ship unless he personally has some sort of internal conflict that's going on within it that we would never know about to begin with.
I don't even think it'll be jump ship. I think it would be more like just a limbo for him. He's going to get that pay. He's getting paid. He got paid for how many years without lifting a finger? I mean, he spent almost 2 years doing, in an EIC-ish position and got paid. Who knows, who knows what he really would do. But I genuinely think that he's going to take a break. I mean, he's take a break, take his time. My power went out, apparently. Okay, Rob's still here. Good.
How is this as a supposition? Wouldn't it be more interesting if he went to Marvel?
Well, that almost happened.
And not just as a regular person, but as an EIC, because Lord knows the current management team does kind of need a refresher.
Yeah, but Jim in that position wasn't exactly overseeing greatness either. Do you know what I mean? It's not like Jim is going to walk in and like fix Marvel. Like what they did while he was in those positions, along with Didio, with the reboots and the rebirths and the 52, like there wasn't a great era of like that stuff's in dollar boxes, man. Like that no one's really concerned about that. Now, again, it's not to say that he can't do it, but I don't think that that's just a flip the switch and Marvel's back by bringing Jim in either. Because he's not going to be, he's already proven he's not going to draw, guys. He's not going to draw for you. Hush 2 is late by like 6 months now. Nobody cares anymore. Like he's going to come in as a editorial guy. He's going to come in as an idea guy.
Covers.
You might get some covers, of course. Yes, you'll get covers for sure. But that's the maximum you're going to get out of Jim. So that's another reason why I don't think that he would go back to Image, because again, idea guy. He's not going to sit and pound out comics on a monthly basis. He might write something and give it to somebody to do, but so you won't get that full Jim Lee experience like we've had in the past.
That's true.
You could always call up Brett Booth and get Backlash back, I guess, because that's the only character that they have left.
Oh, that was part of the DC sale? No.
Backlash has complicated ownership, so it wasn't part of that. Because people were asking Brett Booth when he was going to bring it back, and they asked him if he owns it, and he pretty much said some of it.
Well, why do you think Brett Booth was living in a trailer for a couple of years before people had to like help him out? Like he lost tons of money in that deal. Yeah. And I mean, he hit bottom and has gotten back to like just above the floor,
Well, I mean, he's working for. Is he working for Todd currently, or he was working for Todd?
He was. I think he might still be, but yeah, he was doing Gunfighter Spawn for a couple years. Yeah.
He did some X-Men stuff, and he's doing some like dinosaur stuff, and he still owes me a cover. And
does he owe you a cover?
I was just gonna say, hey Brett, you can hit me up. We'll take care of that. But if I'm in line, then
there's a massive line.
Oh, okay.
Damn.
Well, then Brett, forget the covers. You can just come. I'll just give you stuff to draw. I'll give you pages. We'll give you a regular check, Brett. Anytime you're ready.
Right. And I think that's why I would like to see on paper the whole story of the Jim Lee Wildstorm DC and who got burned in that, because Brett Booth can't be the only person who got burned. in that deal.
Right.
Mm. So how did he get burnt? Was it because he had a part ownership of that character?
Yep.
That's interesting.
Well, not just the character, all the other characters that were involved in that book. So Taboo and all the other ones that are there, he can't do anything with.
Oh, that's weird. That's interesting. Gotcha. Tom, you got a question?
Nope.
An answer? You have an answer?
I always have answers.
You always have answers. He doesn't have any questions though. Well, Marvin, Damion, if you guys want to step up, if you got anything,
I got a question.
go for it.
All right. Question for everybody and anybody listening. So, after I just turned 49 in October, like I'm almost 50. After my whole life of trying to do comics to some capacity, me and my wife are finally in a position where I can quit my job and do comics.
Oh, nice.
So
nice.
as of December 1st, I quit my job. I'm doing comics full time.
Cool.
Pretending I don't know anything about starting in the business, what would be the biggest piece of advice you could give a person just starting out right now as an independent creator, from what you know and what you've learned?
Marvin, start with you.
You're gonna start with me. Build an audience. Build an audience. Build it again. Build another one, and never stop trying to build. Newsletters are better for you than social media because you can technically reach enough people to be able to push things forward. You're never going to beat the algorithms on Instagram, Facebook, and others unless you create controversy. That's the only way to beat the algorithms. And this is to bring this to a point. So we do streams on my channel. I play video games on my channel. So one of my videos that I did a couple weeks ago with a new game, it's not even out yet. It's a martial arts game called Acts of War or Acts of Blood. That video has almost 4,000 views. None of my other videos touch 1,000. The algorithm decided that it wanted to show that video continues. It shows me where it's being shown. It was on the YouTube front page. It's popping up on other people's videos. So I was like, okay, let's just test this out and see if I can hit that number again. Nope. So it's like, okay, and I picked up what did I get? Another 60 followers on YouTube from that. But yeah, I'm like, why was it just this game? This one game just blew up on YouTube and nothing else does. It's so weird. So can't chase algorithms because it's just like it's random. So create your own algorithm by
All right, cool. Tom, what are your thoughts?
So I hate the question because it's and I don't mean you.
I love you, Tom. I don't
mean you, but I get that question all the time at cons. Like, give me the one. It's an impossible question because I don't know you, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know if you're a writer, an artist, an inker, a colorist. I don't know if you are creating a book, want to get into Marvel, want to get into Image, there's too many variables. Do you know what I mean? So Marvin's 100% right, though. Anything that you do, you have to start by doing something that you know is going to acquire you eyeballs. So if you're an artist, for example, you're going to want to be drawing Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, because people understand those characters, and that's going to draw them into you. Oh, look how he drew Superman. Look how he drew Wonder Woman. That's great. Whereas, let's say you have your own character, and you're drawing your own character over and over again. That's fine. It's great practice. It might be working for your goals, but people will be like, I don't know what that is, and you're not going to get the eyeballs, right? So,
not you, Tom. Sorry, the comment that just came up.
What was the comment? I didn't see the comment. Full-time comic creator. You already know how
we've been friends he and I have been friends for 30 years.
Oh, okay, got it. And so
long story.
I always there's always like different things for different purposes. Mm-hmm.
Well,
you know,
would it
for
help
me,
if I gave you a little more context?
yeah, if you have like a more specific,
Well,
like, hey, I'm a writer trying to do something.
I'll literally use my example.
Yeah.
I've been writing and making comics for, I think when I started making mini comics when I was 17, 49. I've had some hits, I've had misses. In the last couple of years, I've had a lot more misses than hits. And so I took about 2 years off. And right around the time I was getting back in, had a bunch of personal family members die, real hardcore, had to take care of life stuff. And so what I do is everything. I write, I draw, I color, I make my web pages, I do my social media, I do everything because I have no money to pay anybody for anything.
Yeah.
But I have nothing. But now what I've been doing for the last month is accumulating knowledge and trying to get a clear path. What I want to do is put out one book a month indefinitely. That's it.
Okay, I have a couple of things for you immediately. One, change that goal. Putting out a book a month indefinitely. Change that goal. That's going to be crazy hard. Crazy hard. You might be able to build into it. But even when we started on purpose putting out a book every 2 months just to give us that little bit of buffer. Because here's the thing. As long as you hit whatever it is you're going to say. So like if you tell your fans, like this book is coming out every 2 months, as long as it comes out every 2 months, they will be there for you. They'll be like, hey, it's 2 months later. It's 2 months later. It's 2 months later. It's 2 months later. As long as you're hitting your goals, they'll be there for you. They'll be like, this is where it is. And then if you've done it for a year and you're like, we're ready, we're going monthly, they'll all be ready for you again. Oh, he's ramping it up. We got more books monthly. So I would on purpose tell you to start with every 2 months, particularly if you're going to be in any sort of distribution, Lunar or massive indies or whatever. And I'll tell you why. Because when we started and we did everything every 2 months, when they order issue 1 and they don't know what it is, they got to guess. We'll sell so many books, whatever. They'll buy that number. When issue 2 is available for sale, issue 1 will be on their racks and they'll get to watch the sales happening. Oh, look, this book is actually selling. And now we get to order issue 2. If they see sales, they're going to order more on number 2. Number 2s come in, they're ordering number 3. So you're getting that perfect storm of they can watch sales while they're supposed to order their next book. Hopefully the sales are good. And then, so for us, like with Penny for Your Soul, that's what we did. And we had almost no attrition through the 7 issues of the book. Almost no attrition, very, very little. Normally you get like 5,000 units, it drops to 25, it drops to 1,000 and you're dead in the water. We were like 3,000 or so, and it just hung around there for 7 issues and it just stayed there. And then as we did more, we managed to get some growth. So that's the first thing I'd tell you is start with every 2 months, build yourself into 1 month if you can. And then the second thing is basically just an internal question for yourself. You said you were doing this for a long time. You had some hits, you had more misses. Have you done sort of a personal examination of why you think those were misses?
Okay. A lot of it was undiagnosed ADHD and anxiety issues. A lot of it was honestly, my life was more hectic than I was willing to admit, that I needed to take time to get my life into a place where it was working. So
sure.
that I could
But what I'm saying is do you think that that's what made the comics miss, or did all of that happening mean that you had a good comic, but you weren't able to market it properly? Or do you know what I mean? Like, was it a content issue at the end where you're like, we didn't quite do what the fans would want? Or do you see where I'm coming from?
I don't want to say it's not a content issue, because I have revamped things and gone over them over time. I've trying to find a way to put it. I've gone over this as many ways as I possibly can. I have mulled this over and chewed this fat, for so to speak, for literally decades. And what it amounts to is the story wasn't right. Mm-hmm. I wasn't in the right place. Mm-hmm. And I kept wanting to try, and because I have a desire to create, a burning need to make something. And when I did, I burned myself out so hard on creating it that I went, and I got to do it again. Oh, shit. Okay. And so I wasn't functionally in a place where I could do it again. And so I had a lot of starts and successful. Like I did great at cons. I'll bring my books to cons. I'll sell out every time. And it like my content, like my stuff, not fan art, not that. I really think it's just that I wasn't in a place to do it correctly.
Okay.
Where I am being consistent, quality consistent. I'm coming out on time. I'm meeting everything. I've had hooked my wagon to a couple of people that shouldn't have hooked my wagon up to. So even when I did have some of those things, I sort of took a zig when I should have zagged. Without going into any details, I've talked about this on the show before, and had to recover. And then literally in June of last year, I'm like, okay, I'm in a good place. I'm ready to start. Let's go. My mom dies with no will. So I have to stop everything I'm doing to focus on getting that straight. And so it's been a year or so, about July of this past year was a year. And I'm like, all right, what am I doing with my life? What am I doing? Am I going to quit? I'm going to keep going. Am I going to stop this thing? Or am I going to do it right the first time? Or am I going to do this correctly? And I'm doing it. I want to do it correctly, which is part of why I'm asking this question, because I am sort of approaching it. While I've done it so many times, I tried so many times, I am still sort of approaching it like a new person. Like I'm trying to start over the right way and not just hope it works out if I put enough force behind it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
that goes back, like you talked about the burnout, right?
Yeah.
Do it every 2 months, dude.
Yeah.
Give yourself that gap and a minute to breathe between again. And once you feel that you've got your gears going, then you can switch it on. We're going to do 6 months every 2 months. Then we're going to see where we are. And if we're ready, we're going to go monthly, and then you can pop it.
So
and that's what I'm doing set in stone either. So I'm taking everything you're saying into account.
Yeah. All right. So Jay, what are you thinking?
I'm sorry to hear about your mom, Damion.
Thanks, man. Me too.
Thanks. If
I realized I didn't sound right, you know what I meant. Thank you.
Yeah, I know what you meant. Talking to a creator for the first time. Okay. Set your budget or take a little bit of your proceeds out. And if this is all you're going to do, put it towards your retirement. That's it. If you're doing this full time, right, and you don't got a company matching any contributions, prepare for the future. Prepare for that day where you can't lift that pencil anymore. You know what I mean? Prepare for that day where you've burnt yourself out for the last time, right? And you want to ride off into the sunset. Prepare yourself so you don't have to reach out to the Heroes Initiative for help. At the end. A lot of people don't look at that, man. And that's hard, man. How many of the creators from yesteryear do we hear about? Shit, a moment ago you brought up Brett Booth was in a trailer.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I give you all the chops for doing this full time. I hated putting on a monkey suit every day for the last 22 fucking years, right? I feel like the Dunkin' Donuts commercial guy, right? Time to make the donuts, and every day he's sitting on the edge of the bed, just rubbing his knees and trying to come up with the fortitude to get out and do that. I just turned this on. We went from one back. Yeah, man. You know,
come on, turn it on, Jay. Turn it on, Jay. Let's go.
That's something that creators don't talk about, guys. You know what I mean? We're not going to be those. I don't know about you guys. I'm a grinder, right? I'm not the $10,000, $20,000 campaign guy, right? We build our stuff over time. So I can't take that chunk right off the bat and put it away. I need the fucking day job to do that, right? I need the day job to protect future me, but I can't go up 3 flights of steps, so just.
Hey, that was last Tuesday for me, so I don't know what you're talking. No, go ahead. No, you're absolutely right, and that's another thing is that
look what
financially, we did the math, and financially we're not going to be more stable than we are right now.
Okay,
for me to be able to do this,
good, man.
And I'm going into this with the full, not the fear, and not the expectation, but the idea that if this does not pan out the way I need it to pan out, I need to go back to work. I mean, it's just going to be that simple. Right. And I'm okay with that. Like going in, knowing that could be a road out. But that's also why I'm going into it with, if nothing has worked as well as you've wanted to in the past, it's time to start over from scratch and see what you've done. Take the experience, apply it to how you project going forward.
I want to roll things back a second, right? Dave said, whatchamacallit, look at Rudy, 89 years old and he's still doing conventions, right? Mm-hmm. We romanticize so much about the arts. We really do. But, in the 70s and 80s, how many of those guys were, working in the sales department, right? In the ad department. They were taking editorial jobs just so they can have benefits. And we didn't hear about it back then, because there was no internet, stuff like that, right? But it's like we've built up this perception, right? This idea that comic books took care of all of their needs, and it didn't. We're seeing that today, like with what Dave just said, right? 89 years old, and he's still doing conventions, man.
Yep.
That's hard, bro. That's hard, man. I don't know about you guys. I'm sorry. I don't want to die on the board, right? I don't want to die on the computer, right? I want to get my stuff, pay my dues, and enjoy what I got left from my life.
Okay. Or hand it off to someone else to take over.
Or hand it off to somebody else. That's cool too, brother. That's cool too. But I got to make sure that the revenue's coming in, that they can get their slice of the pie along with me as well, right?
All right. Cool.
Yeah, but I mean, we've seen that at conventions where they're just dragging these people out, like they're just bought it Michelle Nichols.
Oh, Stan Lee, the stuff they did to him towards the end of his life was terrible.
Yeah. Right. Shit, Herb Trimpe,
horrible.
Right? He was doing the con circuit. He came home, and then boom, on his recliner. That was it.
Yeah. Disagree with you, Jay. I actually do want to, if I go out of this one, I want to end up writing.
Okay.
Be in the middle of a story somewhere, just, living that dream. But Damion, what I would suggest is a piece of advice that something that Jim Lee did to bring it around, right? He said early on, when he first started his career, he gave himself 1 year to sit down and become a comic book artist, right? Because his dad wanted him to become a doctor, right? Yeah. And what he did was he got up every day like he was going to work, 9 o'clock in the morning, made sure he was at his desk at 9 o'clock in the morning, did not leave that chair except for lunch till 5 o'clock. And every day did his 8 hours, just like you were doing a regular ass day job, grinding, cranking, doing everything you got to do to make it a success for himself, right? And obviously he's Jim Lee, so we all know who he is, and it worked for him, obviously. So that's what I would advise, right? Is that if you're going to do it, don't just take it seriously, but take it deathly seriously. Like, your life does really, really, really need you to get this right. Or if not, you're just going to end up at a regular day job where you're just going to end up hating life, Well, you might not hate life, but right.
I don't hate life.
You end up like Jay, I mean, listen, I go to a job, I don't hate my job, but I am damn bored at it. I go there, I'm just bored. And it's just like, they present another fire, I put it out, say, okay, let's move on to the next one. All right, there we go. And I got some other employee bitching at me about some dumb shit, right? But yeah, that's what I would suggest is take it very seriously, work diligently, whether on your crafts, because if you're gonna, write, draw, and do everything yourself, you have to work diligently on all of those levels, right? Get up every day, do what you got to do, and
Minimize the distractions.
exactly. And let's see what Jason has to say here. Lots of people don't have savings for retirement, and that's with regular paying jobs. Slinging artwork is even harder to make a nickel on for full-time creatives. The discussion of saving for retirement may not even come up until it's too late, since they're likely to struggle to make ends meet on a week-to-week basis. Hard to hear some of these stories about well-known creators of the past, like Rudy Nebers. Yeah, this is true.
So, I mean, just to throw another thing out there real quick, since it came up with the news today. So, like, as you're moving from like a 9 to 5 into a creative position, have you dealt with your healthcare?
Before I even made that call, if I wasn't, that was the first thing.
Okay.
Actually, in order of appearance, it was the last conversation that me and my wife sat down and had, because everything else was pretty much easy to say yes or no to.
Right.
But that had to be squared away for the next year at least.
Right. Okay.
Before we could even.
Yeah, because I did see they posted the changes to the health plans and some of the percentages are going up. Like one of them is going from up to 20% on the premiums, and that's going to be painful for some people.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I was working a 40-hour-a-week job, making almost $30 an hour, and my take home was $400 a week, because everything else was going to insurance for two people.
Yeah.
Which was reason number one to say, give the bird to the company. But beyond that, that was a major thing, because you're right. People don't think about that. You're so like, oh, and like JD said, it's romanticized. I'm going to leave this thing. I'm going to succeed in this. This decision was years in the making. Okay. It was, where are we going to be next Tuesday, but where are we going to be next month? Where are we going to be next year? Where, you have to, for us at least, it was, I've got medical conditions. My wife's got medical conditions. We have to have insurance. Mm-hmm. It's just not doable. Life's not doable without it. Mm-hmm. So it was definitely a concern and something that we talked about. And I'm still finalizing. It's like we're covered right now, but there's some finalization I've got to do with what I'm doing. I'm doing something through my work it's Cobra, but it's something separate. Like it's Cobra related, but it's not exactly Cobra. Okay. So, and I'm still paying less in insurance. That's when I had a full-time job. So, yeah, these are all things that I'm definitely I've considered, and like my wife just finished 8 years of school. She's a marriage and family therapy counselor, and she can make more in a day than I can make in a week. It's that kind of like disparity as far as like who's making more and what. But there's the personal conversation. Okay, if I'm going to be home this time to this time, and like you said, I do it full time. I get up in the morning, I come to my office, I leave my office at the end of the day. At the end of the day, I go cook dinner. I clean the house. I'm here. Like that's my, at my half of that responsibility as her spouse. I got to learn how to live a life. These are questions I had to ask myself. Can I functionally do this and do this? And the answers were yes. In my case, that's not something I would recommend to anybody. It's really not. Like, don't do it unless you've got nothing to lose. And like the pros and cons column. If the pro column is so high that the cons column, and there's nothing in the cons column that's going to kill you or make you lose a roof over your head or food in your stomach, then sure, go for it. But it's a huge decision. And huge. Like I said, years in the making.
I give it to you, bro. I'm not trying to invalidate your move. I'm not trying to put you down. Way to be on that. I hope you're successful. I am. I do hope you're successful. But I'm looking at what Dave said again, right? And I'm there with you, man. He's got 7 to 8 years. I got I got 3 years till I retire, right? And judging on his picture, I'm a few grays away from looking like him, man.
Dave's been working on that War of the Independence book for a while. I saw that last page you posted, man. It's got Critter in that close up at that bottom panel. I see what you're doing.
Look at that.
I see what you're doing.
Very cool. It's just I just wish people understood that more. You know what I mean? Prepared for that. That's all.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Hopefully they're listening.
All right. Tom, you got a question yet?
No.
Tom only has answers. He has no question. Tom, we're going to start calling him Jeopardy. He's only
especially. Yeah, I mean, the last I did like 3 questions in a row, and they were all like humdingers. So we're going. Yeah, we're trying to go out on like a nice high note for the end of the year here. And
all right, I got something.
Oh, good.
All right, so the cost of shipping international has gone up again.
Yeah, this is clearly a high quality, thumbs up, smiling for everybody question.
Yes, that's where we're at, baby. End of the year. We're going out on a downer.
It doesn't matter that it's going up, Jay. Do you know why?
Why?
Because you can't do anything about it anyway.
Can I?
Nope. I'm shutting you down. Go ahead.
All right. 15-ounce package to Australia is now 39 and change, rounded up to 40. 15-ounce package to New Zealand, same thing. To the UK, $30. To Canada, $28. Where are you guys at with factoring in shipping internationally? Are you going to continue doing it? Are you going to charge?
You are. Why wouldn't you? Yeah. They're paying for it. Yeah. They're making the choice to pay for the bill.
Yeah, as long as they're going to pay for it. I mean, I feel bad. I would feel bad sending one comic book to somebody for $29, but I mean, what are your other options? Your only other option is to print in those countries.
Right.
Or make really good friends overseas you can make a mass shipment to.
Yeah.
Because there's people that live that way. Like,
There's another option.
Can I answer the question before you answer the question?
Hey, listen, you let everybody else run off on tangents tonight.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
It's
your show. It's your show.
Yeah. This is what I would suggest.
I
would suggest PDFs. That's what I would suggest.
Yeah, but some people want the physical. Like they want the physical.
Then there's another suggestion is I would say don't back me now. Wait 2 or 3 campaigns and get all the stuff at once. Because
but that only works if it's not limited edition stuff.
Right. Well, that's true. But but also, like I said, I don't know if you noticed, I run a lot of campaigns. So, you could just like pile them up and then, I can ship it all at once for you. Or that could also be another option. You could say, I'll back this campaign, I'll back another campaign, and then not back a 4th campaign. And then we can, you can shoot me an email because I've done this for another guy. And I've combined all of these campaigns into one campaign and gave him 1 campaign for free, right? Because he had paid for all the shipping, all the other stuff. So you can have conversations with your fans.
Yeah.
You've got to let them know that stuff's available to them.
Yeah. It's like build a box.
Exactly.
We'll hold on to this for a little while. And then once we get down the line, we'll adjust your shipping. And
right.
Yeah.
I mean, so that is a question? Does that work out for more than just one person? Like, have you done that with more than one person?
I'll be honest, I've only done it with one guy.
Okay. That is a good idea. Like, I'll just hold your stuff until you've built up a big enough box for me to ship it when it makes sense.
Right. Because that this same person orders Daphne's campaigns. So we would ship my stuff for her stuff, and it would just be 2 Oswalds and Magi's Grace, the Dreamweavers, and one of her campaigns, and all go out at one time.
Okay, now Jay, tell us the real solution, Mr. Post.
No, it's not the real solution. It's just one more. And I was listening to a podcast the other day, and I know people are hit or miss with this company, the Comic Wellspring people, and they're now partnering with printers overseas to fulfill orders overseas.
Okay.
That's what I just said. I said that.
You
I mean,
did?
he did say that.
Yes,
Yeah.
he said that. Yeah.
He said, "I'll print overseas." Yeah.
He literally said that, and you said, "Well, there's another way to do it."
No, excuse me. No, print overseas. Yeah, but no, they're doing this over there over your initial order, right? They're doing the fulfillment for you through printers that have met their criteria.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So how many stations do they have then?
That has not been announced yet.
Oh.
Right. Another company that does that is Lightning Source. So if you ever run anything through Lightning Source, I've done this. I did this way back. I haven't done it since. But if you have like European customers, they'll be able to ship it from their European.
Yeah, but does that require you to send your entire thing through them, or can I just call them and be like, I need 5 things to go to UK, and they'll do it?
Well, you do it online, but yeah, you would just be like, I need these 5 books printed and shipped in this country, and they'll do it. Yeah. But you have to you're not going to be signing books. They're not going to get any of the perks.
Right.
They're not going to get any of those.
That's another one of the issues. Yeah,
they're
it's
just
just
going to
the
get the
book.
books. But you can give them discounted shipping though. Instead of it being like $40 for you to ship, it might be like $10.
Right.
And some
So I
people
mean,
care about the
you would
extra.
have to add that into the campaign information. And what if they say, "Yeah, I want all that stickers and all the other add-ons and stuff"? So I mean, you'd be kind of stuck there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So then you have to go back to the loot box thing, where I'm just building things up for you. But it's good to have options. So I mean, you could present that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wonder what if Kickstarter could build something in for that, so that you can do a loot box kind of.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be awesome. Well, there's nobody in the comics division,
Right?
So,
Well, it might be one of us. Maybe they'll hire one of us, and then we can quit.
Is that they have nobody in the comics division now?
No, they don't have anybody run. They don't have a head of the division.
Okay.
The outreach lead. The outreach lead.
Turnover on that is crazy. Like, there's got to be an issue. There's got to be some problem that's being presented itself there.
Is it an issue, or is it the Kirkman Manifesto thing? Build your name up with the company.
Yeah.
But I mean, all right. Working in a corporate structure, the only issue that I could probably see is that position is there to build sales, and if he's not building them fast enough, or to the quotas they're giving him, it sometimes it's better to step down than to be kicked out.
Okay.
That's what I can. That's what I see. Or it could be like Jay said, that maybe he's built up his name enough that he is like, there's a position over at another company, and they're like, well, we need an EIC over at Oni or something, and they were like, yeah, let me just step over.
What are they going to pay
$60,000.
him? Are they going to pay him $140K a year? Right? Are they going to let him work from home? These are perks.
Listen, the reality would be like this. Working at Kickstarter, there's no pomp and circumstance about that. Working for Oni, Dark Horse, whatever, you can move to a company that has that kind of creative element to it. You're a salesman at Kickstarter, basically.
Oh yeah,
right? You're a glorified Kickstarter salesman. 100%. So that's why nobody's going to hang around. Like, why would they? Unless it's some kind of crazy paycheck or hyper perks, which it's not going to be. As soon as you get as soon as you get headhunted to be like, come over here, they're going to take the job.
Okay, but I hear you. I do. Right? You're getting $140 to work from home, paid travel, per diems. Right? That goes above that $140.
Where are they traveling?
Conventions.
Kickstarter?
Yeah, that guy was going to conventions. Yeah.
I have never one time. Oh, you mean just the dude is being sent around?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I have never seen Kickstarter at a con before, and that's exactly what they should be doing.
Yeah. They've done New York Comic Con where they've done contests and things at New York Comic Con.
Yeah, but they don't have the Kickstarter booth we're presenting. You know what I mean? That's what they need to be doing. They need to be hiring some motherfucker to take Kickstarter around the country as a platform, like Whatnot does, right? They need to be doing that across the country.
Unfortunately, that's not going to happen until Kickstarter has a viable challenger in the number 2 spot, right? Because
that doesn't make any sense. That makes no sense because grow your fucking company. Otherwise, do you want to be Diamond Comics? and extinct in 10
Yes,
years?
dude. When
Like,
you're in the top
we
spot,
have-
Can I say,
we
Dan?
have
rest on your
literally
laurels.
evidence of companies that coast on their shit.
yes.
and
So
die.
you brought up, Tom. You brought
Yeah.
up Whatnot. Okay.
Yeah.
Whatnot was at New York Comic Con, and they had 20 by 20 space.
Yeah.
3 years in a row
Yeah.
before eBay said, "Oh, maybe we should show up there."
Right.
Right. And finally, eBay 2 years in a row has set up a booth. They had a 10 by 10 spot, and this year they had a 20 by 30 spot, whereas Whatnot shrank their presence. All right. So that in our sphere, it shows. It wasn't until the number 2
Yeah, but
place.
Whatnot has become a fucking thrift store. Have you seen
Yeah.
that place? Like, it is not. It is not. Some elements are, but as a whole, that place is a thrift store now. I mean, even their advertisements have people on there going like, "Look, this is a $75 shirt I got for $4." Like, this is a mess, dude. That's not the brand you want. And if Kickstarter wants to stay ahead of anybody that wants to come in and maybe even level themselves up into some element of a live thing, which, by the way, they used to have in their platform. They used to have a live. But if they wanted to expand and grow and become something more than just this platform of sales for all these other people, fucking you're going to tell me that you can't get a comp booth somewhere at a bunch of these cons from these things that have creators in their artist alley?
They could, but why do they need to? We're going to go there regardless.
To grow your fucking company.
Dude, they are the
And
Xerox.
to
They are the
expand
Xerox of
to expand
crowdfunding.
it to people that don't even know it exists. This is the whole thing. Like, it's right now, it's very insular. It's very, very insular. And I'm not just talking about comics either. I'm talking about movies, music, like every fucking thing that they do on there. They are at the tiniest fucking seed of what this company could be if they would just put somebody in charge of it that had some semblance of any forethought. Because even when they do updates on their fucking platform, it takes me 8 seconds to go, "You fucked this up. Why aren't you doing this little thing? Add a button and fix this shit." And then, you know what I get when I ask them? They go, "Yeah, we know. We've talked about that." Well, motherfucker, do it. What are you doing? The company is
Stagnant.
I'm going to say great. The company is good. It is working. It is functional. It is doing what it is supposed to do. It is growing when it is required to do so, because things like, you know, all the little updates like putting images in your tiers and things like that, right? That's all fine. But it won't take long for somebody to figure out how to be better than Kickstarter in this world. And so Kickstarter needs to realize that and go, "You know what, motherfuckers? We need people at the head of this company that have forethought, forward thinking. How do we grow this thing? How do we do these updates and make sure we're not missing something every single time?" And that's why you're at Comic-Cons, number one. You're going to go find all these creators that are sitting around in Artist Alley and at their booths. You're going to say, "We want you on this platform. This is why." You're going to introduce Kickstarter to thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people that don't know what Kickstarter is, because all they're there for is to go see a TV show personality, right? And you can say, "Well, look, yeah, it's comics, but there's also people on here that make indie movies and indie music, and there's blah, 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 blah." So it is endless what this company could do, and they sit on their thumbs 6 days out of 7.
So I've been to the Kickstarter offices.
Oh my God.
Okay, it's in a gentrified part of Brooklyn. It is the size of a Wawa. I don't know, you guys, everybody got a Wawa? Right?
We just got them.
Or 7-Eleven, for those who don't know. Right?
Yeah.
Maybe 2 floors.
Yeah.
2 floors. And I don't know if they have the personnel.
They don't. This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You have to get the personnel.
Yeah.
And I'm not even saying more necessarily, but the right fucking people who you can say, "We want you to come in here. We want you to see the future of this company. And we're going to pay you enough that you don't go run off to Oni as soon as they come and say it. You're the guy for us."
All right, guys, hold on. It seems like everybody's on the edge, especially Marvin.
You told me, wait a minute, JD. You told me that drama is the only way to fucking make these things. I
didn't tell you that. That was the other guy.
Marvin said that.
Marvin said
Man, I get no credit tonight, man. No credit. My feelings are hurt right now.
So Marvin, talk to us real quick. You got a few minutes here.
Yeah. So this is Volume 3 of The Edge, God's Thunder. We have this gentleman, this huge packs of muscles and a giant hammer that's going to wreck up the place. So God's Thunder are the organization that was introduced in issue number 1 that hate anyone who has enhanced abilities. So how do you beat people with enhanced abilities? You get someone with enhanced abilities to do your dirty work for you.
All right, cool. When is this coming out? When's it launching?
This should be launching in March.
All right, nice. All right, cool. Looks good. I don't know if I have any other questions when it comes out to this. This is what issue is this? This is volume 1?
This will be issues 10 through 14. It was originally 10 through 15, but 14 is now going to be a double-stacked issue because I couldn't find a natural break in the story, so I'm just going to go right through.
Marvin, get a logo in your image. My God.
It's coming.
Okay.
All right, cool. Well, it's looking good, everybody. Go back this campaign. Great books.
I thought we had moved past this. Don't put words in your images crap that Kickstarter tells you to do. No. Brand your shit. Marvin, you know this. Brand your shit, Marvin.
Hey, look, I'll give you an example. There it is, branded right there. Magi's Grace, 133. I got another 5 days on this, so go check it out. All of this is explained on there. It's in the show notes. Got a lot of fantastic covers. See Michael Lanning doing the interiors, with Champe Ramirez doing the colors.
What?
Yeah, Champe did the colors. So yeah, go check it out. Champe is cool people.
Yes, he is.
Right, and then of course, because I'm a masochist. So the Oswald Chronicles currently running as well. I got another 10 days on that. So everyone go check that one out as well. So depending.
How the hell did you get 2 running at the same time?
Because I'm better. Because I'm just,
because that's the other little secret.
Exactly.
Just do another account. Do another book.
Exactly. Do another account. Buddy. What you need is another Gmail account, and then you can open another account.
Gotcha.
Here, listen, guys. I do have.
I like how we skipped over the dude at the top. That as I was talking, he was like, "You're right. This is skip right over that.
Which one? Who's saying you're right?
Yeah,
I don't see anybody saying you're right.
Exactly. I'm like, I find it hard that anyone said that.
Yeah, I don't see nothing. Yeah. I got nothing, kid.
Scroll up, buddy.
All right.
I love Daphne. Get to Daphne. As big as
at 8:38.
Damn right.
8:38.
And
Bride Baby Red agreed with Tom.
Who was it?
Bride Baby Red 78 at 8:38.
I can't agree with you, Bride Baby.
I got 1. I got 2. I got 3.
That's Damien's homeboy for 30 years, bro. You got 30 years to fix him. Tell him Tom's wrong. Tom always says you're wrong. Tom's wrong. Let him know. Oh no! See, if it doesn't grow on their own, they'll end up being like Blockbuster. Also, he's agreeing with me in my stuff. No, but Daphne, yes, smaller than a Wawa, bigger than a Buc-ee's, bigger Wawa. Yes, I get it. I'm with you on that. But it's also how we give direction. You see that building over there? You make a left when you get to that building. All right, you're gonna go down 3 lights. Come on, it's live. That's how we do, girl. That's how we do. Here we go. Fascinating how much the talk around comics goes straight to business these days. This could almost be a talk about selling farming equipment to a series of different distribution points. Are comic book creatives some of the most dialed-in salespeople these days?
Oh, we're not. No, that's no. Absolutely not.
Wow,
that's the problem.
That's the problem. Correct. Yeah. You may hear a lot of people that do it regularly talk about it. Like we kind of all talk about it because we do it regularly. None of us are, I would say, dialed in at all. I think we have the mentality of it. We talk about it. We like to think about it and impart what we kind of learn and into what we do. But I would say that 90% of comic book people are the farthest from dialed in to all of this stuff. Yeah.
But then what the industry doesn't function like a traditional industry should.
Yeah.
right?
That's true.
Because I have a very storied past when it comes to selling into big box stores, selling into supermarkets, selling into bodegas. I know how to do an activation, right? I know about keeping the milk in the back of the store when it comes to setup. I was part of setup teams, right, for big box pharmacies. Guess what? No comic shop that I've ever gone into understands this word, planogram, right? They will never. There's no setup for any comic book shop. Every comic book shop is set up differently, and that's the confusion and the beauty of this industry too. Right?
I mean, you don't even have a standard sales system of comics.
You don't.
Like, not everybody puts barcodes on their books. Not everybody puts a price on their books. There's no standards anywhere, which is why, again, as Tom said, and I think that's the problem. Like,
well, I think that's what makes it glorious, is that it is a free-for-all madhouse.
Yeah, but that's also what shoots it in the foot, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but the thing is, though, is being independent creators, I don't need you. I don't need Tom. I don't need Marvin.
Absolutely right.
To tell me what to do. Just like nobody needs me to tell them what to do, right? It's the same
Absolutely
thing.
right.
It's democratic in the sense that we get to do whatever the hell we want to do. If I wanted to make,
It's American.
yeah, it's American.
It really is. It really is.
If I wanted to make 6-inch by 6-inch comics, I could make those if I wanted to, right?
Yeah.
Or I just wanted to make square looking books, I could make those.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's one of the things is
well, and crowdfunding blew the gates right off of the keepers' houses. I mean, it really changed everything that you are able to do, because now you could always make a 6x6 comic if you wanted to, but now you actually can take it to market without ever putting pants on.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You can make a whole entire book and not draw feet if you want to.
Yeah. Well, we have professionals that do that. And listen,
You make a living that way.
You can have 5 guys on a podcast with no pants on. Here we are.
Don't make me stand up.
All right.
Hey now. You got his jammies. It's the end of the year.
The view count just shot to the roof.
Smoke them if you got them.
Just clip that and put it on TikTok. We'll have 100,000 people watching next week.
There you go. But it's funny. All right, to Jason's point, right? I do have a question for everybody, right? Mm-hmm. Who is your third greatest influence in creating comics? Because I know you know your first. You probably know your second. Who's your third?
I mean, I'm gonna have to go out of comics for that, because like I would say Stephen King is a big influence. As far as his ability to like reach out and grab everything in his universe and pull it all into one thing. And if anyone has watched the Welcome to Derry show, you can see that other people have taken that influence and just wrapped it up so greatly. You guys watch that now? No.
Same.
Jace.
Well, the TV series.
Yeah, him in general. Like, it's reading my way from through every book of the Dark Tower series and just seeing how he, it's the spindle. I'm sure this sounds familiar because I'm ripping out from somebody, but the Dark Tower series is the spindle that his universe is spun up, and dealing with alternate realities the way I do in my book has been highly influenced by him, with major trying not to rip him off. Like, okay, I love this so much. Can't use that. Okay, let me figure out another way that might work.
Right.
But yeah, I would have to agree. My third.
Yeah. So if you guys haven't seen Welcome to Derry yet, I would recommend it.
Now that it's over, I'm
that clown shit is not
good show. And hopefully that kid becomes Robin.
Also, can I say I was not prepared for the teardown of Stranger Things that happened since Christmas? Like, wow, holy shit, are people dogpiling on this?
Mm-hmm. Well, you got to kind of expect it. What is it? Is it something that went longer than it should have?
Yeah, but the first portion of the release got good. People were like, "Yeah, we're back! Like this is cool." It still had got its detractors, but it wasn't like the dog pile that it is right now, where people are just
But
like,
it just seems
this
like
is garbage.
The longer something goes, the more people dog
For
pile
sure,
on.
especially in this case where it was always a start and stop.
Yeah.
But I was not prepared for the overwhelming kapow that it's getting.
Well, I mean, like they did it's really same thing. The Peacemaker, like people just ripped apart those last 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Hey.
I avoid it.
Right.
I don't care anymore what other people think when it comes to that shit. Either if I'm going to spend my time and watch it, I'm not going to care what they think.
Exactly.
Oh, I don't care either. I watch.
No, but I do. I
Markets
understand
of
what you're saying.
everything.
It's
because when I watched the first part of it, the
blows my
Stranger
mind.
Things stuff, I was like, guys, really, this is not great. There's some elements this is not great. And then, but most of the reaction was good. And then I haven't even watched the new stuff yet because I just like watch it on TikTok now. Everybody talks about every scene and was like, all right, I don't even have to watch it. I watch these guys show me everything that there is. So yeah, and same thing. Like I was not prepared for the dog pile on Tom King for his Wonder Woman run. Like it is getting raked over the coals. And that guy pretty much has done, been untouchable for quite a while. As far as
have you read it though?
I read the first issue and wanted to burn it. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so there you go. You validated it. Yeah. So Tom, who's your third influence?
I think it is similar in the Stephen King vein, but it's not a specific person. It's more just a storytelling genre, which is film. I got very into like not just watching movies, but like understanding them and understanding like moving the camera and setting things up and trying to move yourself through this scene of like we're in a warehouse and we kind of start here and then we kind of end up over here. And so I got really kind of deep into that and I started to think about like, okay, well, how would I translate what I'm seeing on the screen here onto my page and then breaking that into panel to panel, page to page. And so I've had people tell me like, every time I read one of your books, I felt like I watched a movie and I'm like, that's it, because that's what I want you to have. I want you to have that specific experience versus all these little tiny squares and stuff. I want you to feel like you're in this world and moving with everything that's going on. So I think that's really my sort of inadvertent influence is just, a different form of storytelling.
Okay.
Jay.
Marvin said no.
Marvin said no.
I'm not answering this question. That's a great question, Daphne. I think some of it for sure is performative, 100%. That's just the world we live in. But there's enough of it from people that I've watched on a regular basis who even have liked the first part of that Stranger Things, and now they're just like, what the fuck are we doing, guys? So yeah.
Well, everybody thinks they're on a TV show now, but the problem with that is that if everyone's on the show, who's watching?
Yeah, right.
Were there not enough dick jokes for him in the second half? I mean, that's just what I don't do. There were so many dick jokes in the first.
Yeah, there were.
Why? It's not even like relevant.
No.
Okay.
Sorry. And I like dick jokes. I'm just saying. Sometimes there's too much dick going on.
Jay, you're talking about.
All right, so everybody.
I set you up. Take it down. Go ahead.
Everybody's going outside of comics. I'm going to go outside of comics, but with a strong foundation in comics. Dwayne McDuffie.
Okay.
Creation of Milestone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where we're at, right? Trying to get something off the ground. His connection to my favorite C-level Marvel character, Battlestar, who's the influence for my character, my flagship book, Shield of the Interceptor, and how he got that character's name changed from Bucky to Battlestar, and the backstory behind that, and the camaraderie between him and Mark Greenwald, who is my number 2, by the way, but also because, damn it, he brought together he was a showrunner in the greatest animated series out there, Justice League and Justice League Unlimited.
Wait, who is this?
Dwayne McDuffie.
Dwayne McDuffie. Okay, yeah. I get him and Darwin Cook. Every time I hear their names, I cross pollinate. Okay, yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, and Dwayne McDuffie was showrunner on Justice League Unlimited. The only thing I really didn't like of his was the All-Star Superman animated movie he did. But that's because I really didn't like All-Star Superman, the book, either. But
you're talking about the Frank Quietly?
Yeah.
You just shut up, man.
I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of Quietly. I'm not a fan of Morrison. I'm not.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, listen.
This is the only Morrison book I've read that I ever liked, but only the first half of that. The second half of it with Bizarro and all of that falls off for me. But the first half I like.
The only thing I like of Morrison is his JLA run.
Yeah, his X-Men run was not great.
No,
I did not like it.
I was not with that.
Just my taste. It wasn't for me.
I liked his Animal Man and Invisibles.
Okay.
Doomsday Squad, that stuff. So
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'll stick in comics because I
Grant
do.
Morrison. He's going to say Grant Morrison now.
No. No, it's Bill Mantlo.
Bill Mantlo. That's a call.
Bill Mantlo because of Micronauts. Because it was the first time I ever saw a series finish. Even though he didn't finish the series, I kind of do ascribe it to because he's the person I remember writing it most of the way through. And then the other person is Bill Black. And that's because of Captain Paragon and Phase One Phasers. Because those are books that when I was a kid, I really, really enjoyed them. And I enjoyed them because they were just these weird, independent, superhero comics. So yeah. So no, Jay, not Bill Willingham. It's funny. For me, it's Frank Miller, Alan Moore, probably Neil Gaiman, and then Bill probably comes in fourth or fifth.
All right, so he's in the top 5.
Yeah, he would definitely be in the top 5, but he comes in around fourth or fifth.
So you said who's your number 3, and you gave us Bill Mantlo and Mr. Black. That's that 3 and 4. And why did they not show up in your top 5?
3 and 3.5, something like that.
No. Because then I could have brought up Ron Lim.
Yeah, you can bring up Ron Lim. That's fine.
I could have brought up Ron Lim.
Did I tell you to bite your tongue at saying 2 names? No.
Hey, I'm going by the rules that were set up, bro.
I heard him say Ron Lim is a bitch. That's what I heard him say. No.
Oh, shit.
That's terrible, bro. Don't be
talking chaos.
Chaos in the playoffs.
All right.
Oh, man. Real quick, let's pull this up for Damion. Damion, what are we looking at here?
Okay, so what I have been working on is I've created a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week radio station called Radio Free Omniverse. I love radio. I love music, but I've really been getting into old-time radio. I don't mean like, old-time radio, not like that. Like 40s, 50s, 60s radio shows, because I think that they're a lot more relevant now than they've ever been. I mean, even with the social situation in that time period behind the scenes of all this media, that's present in the media. It's a lot more progressive than you'd think. Like, 50s radio, no, it's actually, very inclusive for what it was. Maybe not as inclusive as we'd like it to be. If you don't have a problem with smoking advertisements, you're fine. Like, this is a great radio station for you. You'll get the jingle for L&M cigarettes stuck in your head. But beyond that, what I want to build this out to be is anyone who's got a project they're working on, anyone that has a Kickstarter, anything, a place to advertise for free. That is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You get 30 seconds to a minute. We put your commercial during whatever show you want. But I thought about doing this as a Kickstarter, and I was like, what the hell am I selling? Time? You can't sell time. So I was like, you know what? Let's give it away. Let's give you space. Anybody out there that wants to sell anything comic related, art related, you do music, you do movies, anything like that. 30 seconds to a minute, you make me a commercial, you send it to me, we put it on the air. I'll tell you when it's going to be on the air so you can tell other people. We program your advertisement for your viewers on our platform. Any proceeds at all that I plan to make on this through whatever means or go to supporting the station. I make no profit off this. It's all just everything goes to getting ASCAP licenses, so we can play music. We can put your if you have a podcast and you want to put something in your podcast that you can't put on, say, YouTube, we can play it. That sort of thing. So it's right now in the planning stages. It's right now in the very early stages. It's been running continuously for over a year now.
Cool.
So I'm literally looking at the screen right here that I have it running on. Solid station, up 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can program your time. You can do whatever you need. So talk to me. If you got ideas, let's make something.
And it's radiofreeomniverse.com.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you click that little play button, don't do it now. If you click that little play button, it plays right off the radio station. Works on your cell phone, works on anything internet connected.
All right, cool.
Jay, and if you scan that QR, you're good too.
Yeah, you can go on there and diss Ron Lim as much as you like. Terrible though, why you would do that, but he's a really nice guy. Why do that to a guy? It is. All right, Jay, you got another question?
No, man, I asked 3 tonight.
Did you?
I'm holding this ship up. Come on, baby. Come on.
Okay.
Like Atlas, man. It's like Atlas tonight.
You know what I'm saying, bro?
Yes. All right. So, here's one. I've asked variations on this questions all the time, so I like this question. If you could work with any artist for one issue, who'd you want to work with? Someone's living.
Gotta go with Jim Lee. Make it easy. We've been talking about him all night, so might as well.
That's true, but you wouldn't get that issue for another 3 or 4 years. But okay.
But it'll be worth it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
David, who would you want to work with?
I know I'm saying his name wrong. Pascal Ferry.
Okay.
I love his work. I haven't had a chance to meet him personally, but I've talked to him quite a bit online. It's just pretty to look at. Other than that, me. I want to draw my own shit. I don't want to be able to draw myself. I don't want to work on a comic. They write for me. I draw. They write.
All right. So who's a writer you want to work with?
Honestly, I want to work with one of y'all. I'm not even trying to kiss ass. I'm being sincere.
No, please.
Like, because see, you specifically, Mr. Rosario. Listen, you got your craft down, and I want to work on something that I'm going to enjoy, but also something like I want to read. I want to read this thing later. I don't want to just work on it and then be like, oh, okay, I'm done. I'm not going to. No, I want to enjoy what I'm working on. And y'all are writers I know. I mean, I could say, I don't know. Most of the people I like are dead. So, I mean, as long as y'all are still around, you're in my top.
There you go.
I can find out who, but beyond that.
All right. Marvin. Oh, you already said Jim Lee. Tom.
Took that cop out answer.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not a cop, so I can't be out. I can't be a cop. I can be out if I'm not a
Just
cop.
mute that. Just mute that. I can't be doing puns like that. It's no good. So for me, it's the top of the list. The top of the list is always 1 and 1A, and it's Arthur Adams and Todd McFarlane. They're at the top of my list at all times. So I think it would depend on the book that we were doing as to who I would be like. That's the guy. But if we're going to talk about getting a one shot for Critter, it's Art Adams all day long. Oh, not even a question. Give it to me. Give it to me.
Cool. Jay, what are your thoughts?
Ron Lim. I said it. I don't know why I'm doing a fucking question right now. I said it. You should have just for a one shot. I really would like to do Ron Lim. I really would. I just remember picking up his book, his Silver Surfers, when I was in Puerto Rico, at a Walgreens. When I was a kid, and I was just like, "Oh my god, this is the greatest thing ever!" The shit. Yeah, Arthur Adams. But again, nobody's ever going to see that book, right?
The cover will be great. The promo material will be perfect.
I know. No, I want to go Ron Lim. Yeah, I'm going to go Ron Lim.
All right, cool. I would go with Mark Buckingham.
Okay.
And the reason for that is because one, he's a really good artist. Two, his storytelling, I think, is far and beyond like what a lot of other creators or a lot of other artists can do.
Mark came off of inking Chris Bichello and stuff. What they were doing that, so he clearly pulled some of that out of Chris, which is good. I'm not saying that they're copycats, but like he clearly learned some stuff, and yeah, Mark's great.
Well, I think also the thing you also have to remember, the thing with that series is that Bichello left early and Mark aped him for I think 2 issues. And I have those issues and I looked at them and it's really hard to tell.
Wait, which series are we talking about?
Death, the High Cost of Living, I believe it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And Bichello was he left, I don't know if it was the last issue or the last 2 issues, and Mark was inking him, and then he came in and he aped him for those last 2 issues. And Mark doesn't. That's not his natural drawing style. So, yeah.
So you want him doing him or him doing?
No, I would want him doing himself. Yeah. And especially if it was just for a one shot, that's definitely the guy I would go for.
All right. I got a question.
Go for it.
Do you guys understand you're breathing rare air right now? Do you know that there's people who would kill to be sitting in our seats with the amount of content that we've gotten under our belts? You guys,
I never thought that. No. of myself.
Yeah,
I'm in therapy, so it's all good.
It sounds like somebody just sitting around smelling their own farts.
I got a cat box 3 feet away from me, and he's like, "You know where I'm rare air?"
I sit in traffic, and it's cold, so the windows do not open. Yes, sometimes I smell my own fart.
Yep. That's what I'm thinking.
Look, I'm not trying to, boast my chest and fucking say that I'm top of the heap or anything like that, right? But
no, that's not what you try to do, but that's what you're doing.
I get what you're saying. You're saying we have value, because we've not because of necessarily even what we've done, but that we've done it.
Right.
There's people that would love to do what we've done.
And if we were sitting in our chair before we started that first book, right? To come back around to Damion, right? And we saw all the content that we've created up to this point, we'd have a ton of questions for ourselves.
Look at what Daphne just said. There you
go. We've seen way too many bunnies in this road to care about the roadkill. Wow. What? Wow, girl. That's not where I'm going with it. That's not where I'm going with it at all. If they wanted to, they would. Yeah, no, I'm not. Look,
there's a lot of fear in creating anything for some people, where it comes down to the fact that I'm afraid that I won't succeed. Is what I've heard from a lot of people. But I mean, until you put your foot into the pot, you don't know if it's hot or not.
Yeah, right. But also the thing is success is only achieved through failure, right? Nobody ever starts out as a winner, right? No Olympic athlete has ever won every game they've ever done or every performance. It doesn't work that way.
No. They're that Russian guy who did the Greco-Roman style wrestling.
Carellin lost like one match towards the end of his career. He lost one.
Sure?
Yes,
Really?
I know exactly who you're talking about.
I could swear he went undefeated.
That dude was a monster.
That swimmer dude has like 80 gold medals.
Yeah, but the thing is, here's the thing though. When I'm talking about before then, they started training up to get
you
to
got
where
to
they
build to your gold medal.
Exactly.
Yes.
You know, they lost before then. Trust me, they lost. So I mean, you know,
Michael Jordan lose a lot in college?
Nobody did once he got drafted.
I think he lost a lot when he was playing professionally.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, he lost, but he won more than he lost, but he lost.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah. That doesn't mean he wasn't, you know, great at what he did.
The greatest of all time. We'll just put it out there. Clip it. The greatest of all time.
It's funny. I was watching the thing on Ricky Henderson today, right? And
how about wait? Bobby Bonilla is still getting paid 20 years after he retired.
That's deferred payments, baby.
That's the biggest winner in the history of sports.
Payments and fucking interest. He is the fucking man, right? But like, I'm looking. I was watching the thing.
Son of a bitch. Sorry, him, Brian. Yeah.
I was watching this documentary today on Ricky Henderson, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he caught flack because he said he was the greatest of all time when he beat the all-time stolen base record, right? And
not bragging if you can back it up.
There you go, right? But then that night, Nolan Ryan pitched no hitter, whatever. And they tore him to shreds because they said Nolan Ryan was classy, because he didn't make a big deal about it, and Ricky Henderson did. But Ricky Henderson was also a selfless player, right? We're selfless players, dude. Here we are. We're sharing this information that we've accumulated for years.
I'm sorry, Jack. Did you say selfless or selfish?
Who sells fish?
Selfish?
We're all selfish.
I'll see myself out.
Selfless.
Selfless. Okay, no. I was just, I just want to make sure.
Here we are, right? Every week, we're sharing information with people, right? We're giving them the keys to the car so they can drive it wherever they want to.
Get to the nitty gritty.
You know, and we're here. We fucking, I don't know. At the end of the day, just be proud of the work you guys have done. I'm proud of it. I'm proud of it. Even the first ones that I cringe. Look at it.
I thought you just said you were being something. You're proud of the stuff we did, not just you.
What up, my mouth?
That's why I heard you say the question. I was thinking selfish. That's why.
Yeah.
To that end,
thinking about yourself.
My friend Brian there, he mentioned something that the first comics ever made were mini comics. There was a theater playing Rocky Horror Picture Show in an area of town, and I went there, and well before the book, that damn book Twilight, I had a character named Twilight, and I did like 8-page mini comics, and just they weren't great, but they were good. They were, to me, the best. And I'd go to Kinko's, I'd spend $5, I'd print as many off as I can, cut them out, make them up, I'd go sell them up there for 50 cents a piece. And every time I'd sell out, and I only had like 14, you know, it wasn't like I'm selling 5,000 copies. No, it was like I had a jacket that they would fit in my pocket, so I didn't have to hold them so they wouldn't get weird and foldy or crinkly. And I would like literally be like, "Hey, you want to buy some comic books?" I did, because I'm a weirdo.
Yeah.
And
it had a van.
And I didn't drop my pants. I just opened my jacket. That when I made the decision I made just recently, it was like, that's the kid that I'm doing it for.
Yeah.
Because I still want to make like that. I still want to make things like that. I want to read. I want to make a story that you did steal that jacket, Brian. It was a denim trench coat. Look, I lived in Louisville, Kentucky in the 90s. What do you want from me? So, but yeah,
it was Louisville.
You shut your damn mouth.
I don't know. Looking at it, it's Louisville, right? It's Houston.
Louisville is actually how it's pronounced. Louisville. Yeah, dude, it's beaten in our brains from childhood. That's not the point. But yeah, like I see what you're saying. I mean, but feeling that way also makes me want to do more.
Yeah.
It makes me want to like do more and maybe if I can be more. You know, I've got a lot of learned. My experience alone may feel like this, but there's somebody out there that might want it, or there might information they might have. I haven't been on the show in a while because I have. Yes, I'll do it now. I'll go to cons now and do it if I want. I'll show everybody.
I like it. Looneyville. I like that.
Louisville.
Oh, sorry.
Louisville.
Louis.
It's all kind. Yeah.
Louis.
It's. I tried to be serious.
Came on the wrong show, David.
No, but that's my point. Is like, I want to do more. I want to make more. I want to put the stories out in the world that might change somebody's idea or somebody's point of view in some way. That's why I want to create. I want to leave the world a little better than it was before I got here. Why do I feel like I can tell those stories? Maybe that's self-importance or an overblown ego in some capacity, but fuck it. I want to do it. Somebody's got to.
See, I told you that's a callback to last week's show when I said everybody starts with ego. Right there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, 100%.
Of course.
100%.
Yeah.
Icarus. Everybody thinks they can fly. You know, some fly too close to the sun. Some never even get off the ground.
What you trying to say? No. What'd you call me? Me and Ron Lamb? Come on, man.
But that's comics, right? That's comics, guys.
So hold on now.
Yeah.
We got 2 people in here, 3 people, 4. No, you know what? All 5 of us have done, or have done some shade of it, or in the process of doing it. Toys, right?
Oh,
so where is everybody with their stuff? Like
I'm right here with my stuff.
There you go. I have that same one upstairs.
Never on camera. Jeez.
No,
Never on camera.
I pulled out your book.
That's true. That's true. That's fair.
Pulled out your book. Come on.
That's fair.
So Marvin, what's going on with your figure, man? I mean, I know you're still gonna do it.
Here's the put it in the wrong spot. Here's the Kickstarter, and over on the other desk, I don't know if I can situate the camera enough to display this, but I will pick it up and try to do this. So on the other desk, I have the pieces of the prototype.
Oh, nice.
Oh, cool.
Pretty.
Nice.
Very nice.
Yeah, so that's where we're at right now.
That's the first cut?
That is the first cut.
Way to be, bro. Way to be.
So I'm putting that together myself right now. I've got 2 others going out to action figure photographers. I will be at Toyland this year. I will be an invited guest.
Nice.
Very, very, very nice.
Yeah. Nice.
So that's end of March.
Now, Morgan,
Yes, sir.
Why is that? Like, how did you achieve that? How did you achieve getting invited to the show?
So,
because I have my suspicions. Okay.
You have your suspicions. So, I signed up as a vendor, and they called me and said, "Hey, do you want to be a guest at the show? And I'll waive the table fee." And I'm like, "I do." It was just that easy.
Okay. Are they going to let you host a panel or anything?
I'm going to talk to them about that this week if we can do a panel.
Very cool. When is it?
Nice.
That is end of March.
End of March?
Yeah, 27th and March 26th, 27th, 28th, I believe. Or is it? No, 26th, 27th, 29th. Or right about, yeah. Skip it. Yeah. I'll put it into the chat so you guys can check it out.
Okay.
But yeah, that was great. They were like, "Oh yeah, I'll waive that table." We're like, "Yeah, because that saves me $400."
Nice. All right, cool. Damion, I mean, I know you were
Wait. You said you had suspicions. What were your suspicions?
Oh well, I mean, this was like, because I know Jay wanted to go to that. Was that the same show you wanted to go to, Jay?
No, I was gonna do Joe Fest again, but
Gotcha.
Yeah. Joe Fest is in summer, right?
June 19th. That weekend.
Yeah, I just figured you talked your way into it.
Well,
I mean, that's what you do.
Yeah, that's my thing.
So Damion, I know for a little while you were doing toys and stuff. Like, what? Where are you at with that? Why did you get out? There you go.
People were going. It was like right after COVID. It was like 2021, 22. I'd had a couple of bad interactions with people who essentially didn't want my name on their work, but wanted me to make their work. And it came down to, no, if I'm designing it, if I'm designing everything for it, you have to put my name on it. You have to put my logo on it. That's it. You don't even have to give me a cut of the money. You're paying up front anyway. So it really came down to a couple of people were like, well, then I'll go find somebody else to work with. And then they never ended up putting anything out.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, well, sort of vindication, also sort of sad that I didn't get to work with them. But I've also been acquiring a few pieces of equipment recently. Cool. And part of this move back into making comics is going to be accompanied with some newly designed action figures. I've gotten the joint structures built out. I've got characters built out. I also am talking to someone about, I've been given the go-ahead. No money's exchanged hands yet because I want them to be happy with what they're getting. Potentially doing a relatively well-known indie character. So
cool.
I can't say who yet, but there'll also be a comic and a game attached to it as well.
What kind of game?
RPG.
Oh, what kind?
TTRPG. Yeah, sorry, the important part. I left that part out. Just like a tabletop, something I've been working on for a while.
He's trying to get you to spill the beans on the name of the game.
Oh no, I just
I'll tell you off the air. But
card game, is it tabletop, is it a board game? When you say game,
you can't say RPG without putting the important part in the beginning is the TT.
Right.
There's a joke there. I'm leaving it alone. So yeah, that's what I got going on. Making them better, cheaper, but stronger and capable of being more of what's commonly on the market.
Okay.
So cool. I like doing 3 3/4, but if I don't get a 6-inch figure of at least my character, if there's not a Roamer 6-inch character sitting on my table by the time I'm done, I didn't do it right.
All right. Fair enough. Tom. So with your toy, I know you're running with the same company that Marvin, right? Like, what was the process for that? Like, how long did it take you before you did the Kickstarter and all that stuff? Like, how long were you dealing with that before that stuff? You was like, okay, now we can do the Kickstarter, start putting together the campaign.
It was sort of like Marvin with the booth. They were like, "Do you want to make toys?" I was like,
right.
Yeah, let's make toys. And I said, "Okay." So what do I need to do? And they were like, "Well, you need to pay us a lot of money." I was like, "Oh." Well, what qualifies as like a lot of money? And so they started giving me the breakdown and we do it this way, blah blah blah. And at the end, obviously, how the price greatly depends on how many you want to make and so on. But they were like, yeah, you probably, in order to get the price point to be something like normal retail for these figures, which are like 6-inch figures, 30 articulation and like a real box and the whole thing, they were like, you probably need to make like 1,000 of them. And I was like, God damn. Okay. But then I had the idea where I don't have the other one here, but Critter has basically 2 costumes that can be done just with paint application. So I was like, well, what if we did one mold, but we were able to do 2 paint applications to be able to do both versions of the costume. And then we would just do like 500 of each. There wouldn't be different molds or anything like that. They were like, yeah, we could absolutely do that. 500 of this, 500 of that. 1,000 figures, you'll get your price point. And I was like, yeah, okay, let's go. So they started doing 3D models, and they would send me the stuff like, here's the arms, here's the legs, here's whatever, approve it or give us edits or whatever. And I would give them edits here, there, whatever. They sort of put all the pieces together in the computer. You get the whatever, the wraparound version of it. And I'm like, okay, go. And then they turned it into like a 3D printed version. So they had an actual physical thing. They could make sure everything moved right and it was still right. And once that got approved, they went through the paint apps, and paint came out good. There was a couple of little edits. They were like, yep, no problem. Edits. They were always great. They're always like, you tell us until it's right, because once it's right, then we're ready. And I was like, okay, cool. So it kept going, edit this, edit that, no problem, change it. And then it was finally done. I basically just was like, we're going to take a flyer on it. I had we had talked about it to our fans for the year or so that we've been doing it, working on it in the background. So they kind of knew it was coming. And I was just like, all right, we're going to put the bare minimum that we need on this campaign, which was $35,000. I kind of thought to myself, we could probably find 300 people to buy this thing and so on and so on. We didn't get that. But we did find like 200 and I don't remember what it was, 75 people or something. And most of them were buying both versions. And a lot of them were buying, because I have the catalog, right? They were buying all the Critter comic books. And so even if they only bought one figure, they were still buying all the trades. And, so we were able to make the 35 only because we had all the extra content. If it was just selling the toy and nothing else, even two versions, we wouldn't have made it. So it was the idea that we presented the Critter world that existed around this figure, that it worked. And then I started to find people on like toy threads, talking about toys and stuff. And they were talking about this. I was like, how the hell do you know what this thing is? And it's because they knew the company. First of all, Loose Collector, Executive Replicas, does all the Lady Death stuff and all the Dynamite stuff and all that. So we were already kind of in with the company, because as the company talked about Red Sonja and Purgatory and Critter and Lady Death, we're like in the middle of, all of their marketing. So people were talking about it. Yeah, I don't even know what the hell this is, but it's Catgirl, so I want it. And I was like, all right, that's cool. And that was the other thing for me is we could have done any toy that we wanted. They asked me, like, which one do you want to do? And I was like, look, partially because of the ease of use, because it's the one mold and two paint apps. And then partially because it's Catgirl, right? I feel like we can broaden the market outside of just Critter fans. We'll have Critter fans, we'll have figure fans, we'll have superhero fans, we'll have Catgirl fans, anime manga fans. And that's exactly what happened, is we got a lot of people that were like, well, I just like Catgirls, so just give it to me. Doesn't matter what it is. I just want it. And so that was a big part of why she hit. And now the next thing we're going to do is we're working on a Dorothy Gale figure that will be much more intricate, a lot more going on. We're going to see if we can do it for next year, but not positive yet. It's like I said, it's a little more involved than this. So, but that is the next one that we're working on, is to do a Dorothy Gale gunfighter figure.
All right, cool. So Jay, bro, what's going on with yours?
So we were supposed to launch it on October 31st. Family incident delayed that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Just trying to find a gap in the schedule where I can launch it. I got other things coming up this year. I've got I got plans with two other parties. Well, shit, we mentioned it on both streams, right? The intricate trading card pattern. So I want to make sure that I got my release set up properly, so I don't affect anybody else's thing. Then I got another book release that we're finalizing with the Limbo book. We're gonna launch the 3rd issue, so we got to do that. So there's gonna be 3 releases at least this year, and if I can launch it, maybe March, April, if there's a good enough gap, right?
Well, why wouldn't you do it like right before Joe Fest, so that as people come to your booth, you can be like, ding, 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 ding.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not look, dude, there's so much on the table right now.
Yeah, but you don't go to Joe Fest and tell them that they can back it on Kickstarter 6 months later. You want that excitement at that.
I'd rather
place.
have it
Yeah.
and keep the how long can you keep late pledges going on Kickstarter?
I've never used it, so I don't know. I would assume at least a couple of months.
I think it's 6 months before they kill it. Like if nobody orders anything, then I think they automatically deactivate it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, but I mean, I'm ready to pull the trigger on it. You know, the price points are still the same for us. It's still going to be a lot. I learned a lot when I failed on my first campaign. Let's not hide that, right? I failed the first time I launched an action figure campaign because it is not the same as launching a comic book campaign.
Yeah, me too. And Oliver failed their first time too. So
look at that. And unlike Tom, I thought, you know, my catalog was going to help carry me over. that didn't happen. And I thought my backers from my comic books would be in on it. Guys, maybe 10%.
Yeah.
Maybe 10%.
So I mean, and this is why, and like I'll give you all the data. Those action figure websites and forums attack them heavily.
Yeah.
That's where you're going to get your buy-in from. There are a lot more 3¼ inch people out there than I thought there were.
Yeah, they're there.
So they're out there. Like, well, you saw the streams that I was on. Those guys are hungry for it. So
one more thing I learned was they want troop builders, man. They want troop builders, right? The troop builders were supposed to be the stretch goals for the campaign, right? And when the campaign was dying, I was like, "Fuck it, let's unload them now," right? And wow, they went after them, and they were going not just for one, right? I was selling them in clips of 5 and clips of 10, right? Each one in bundles of 3, and all of those tiers were being picked up.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. So we revised that, right? We went from 3 different troop builders. We have 5 troop builders, right? We got a leader on the troop builders. And then the other thing is I didn't have all of my 3D prints ready, right? My test prototypes. It was mostly the 3D images, right? So they weren't confident with that. And I had not hit the cons.
All right.
So, but we're going to drop it this year. I just got to find out where to drop it, man, because it's all ready. The money's there. All of it. We spent everything.
All right, cool. Well, all right, sounds good. Hold on, let me pull this up real quick. This is from Marvin. So this is your Blaine figure. When are you looking to relaunch this?
It's going to be after cons. I'm like I don't want to be working on this while in the middle of con season. So July maybe.
Okay. All right, cool. I just wanted to pull that up real quick. For myself, I got nothing but the original toy that I had done years ago. I did back that campaign where they said they could make a miniature for you, so I'll see how that rolls out.
I remember that.
Yeah, so we'll see how that works out. But anyway, gentlemen, we made it to hour 2. Thank you so much. You guys are all awesome. Let's start with Marvin.
Yes, sir.
Marvin, where can they find you and your work, sir?
You can find me at theedgecomic.com or comicsburg.com. All the socials are linked there.
Jay, you got to put this up now?
Dude, I didn't think of it. I didn't think of it.
You know, like seriously, like really. All right, let me just show this for Jay real quick. There we go.
It's the end of the year.
Yeah. The end of the year.
So I'm flipping the name also. It's gonna be main title Heroes versus the Hellbound, and then Shield of the Interceptor will be the subtitle. So that's gonna get flipped around.
All right, cool. I mean, you know, it still looks good, man. Like I said, I really like the Cybrawl guy.
You'll see him.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, well, he has a giant.
It all looks amazing. Like all of your stuff, all the toys look great. I mean, I'm just saying, as a person that you know, I 3D model my stuff, I 3D print my stuff, I do whatever I got to do to make the toy, put the toy together. It's so hard to get something that the fans and the creator are happy with. Mm-hmm. And if y'all are happy with what you got, you should be, because it's amazing.
Dude, I love how people are knocking it. Right? They're like, oh, but it's all the same body type with a different head and a repaint. Yeah.
Have they heard of Hasbro?
What is it?
Have they heard of Hasbro?
Man.
You can go through the Hasbro stuff, right? I mean, come on, man. Come on.
Well, these are the same people that are buying Wolverine for the 15th time.
Bro,
he is a lighter shade of orange on this one.
Body every time, just a repaint, right? And you know, but you're not knocking them. You're not knocking them, right? You're knocking the guy who put his money where his mouth is, fucking, and put something together. You know.
All right. We will leave it at that. Damion, where can they find you and your work, sir?
Right now, I'm going to build my website out of Radio Free Omniverse. So if you want great entertainment and something to listen to while you're drawing, writing, having fun, Radio Free Omniverse. Cool.com.
Tom?
BigDogInc.com. You can get your books. Next year is The Legend of Oz, The Wicked West, 15-year anniversary. So we'll be launching the next volume of this January 24th, and then doing Oz stuff all through the year.
Nice. Mr. Rosario?
UnstoppableComics.com. You can find all of my social media links on the website. And then Friday nights, this Friday, we're coming back. New year, new show. Well, not new show. New Year, same show. Friday the 2nd, Comic Book Streamland. And then if I'm invited back next Sunday, Indie Comics Explained.
You know you are always invited. So.
Oh.
You know.
Oh, mother. Oh.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. My favorite movie, Running Scared. I love that movie.
Good. All right. So for myself, Facebook, Instagram, all those different places. Next Sunday night, we'll be back with Mr. Rosario. Probably Tom. You know, if Tom wants to make it.
It's the only way you get drama on this show. If you want drama,
you got
to have me on the show.
That's true. Unless I'm mad at Jay, then we develop.
Well, then you're okay.
Exactly. So please, everybody, check out the show notes. They're there. In those notes are links. All of these creators to all of their websites. Click on those links. Buy these books. They all make fantastic books. They all make fantastic toys. So go check those out as well. And please, everyone, remember, read more indie comics, especially ours. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you.
Night, everybody.